All right, fellas, welcome to episode. Well, this is for the podcast part, but we're on YouTube too. Episode 15. Wow, 15 weeks. That's cool. Of Proper Gentlemen's Club. I think I got something good for you today, hopefully. This is just stuff from my experience and just some stuff that I came up with, some stuff that I've been, really thinking about as we work to be better gentlemen, better men, men who handle our business, men who provide proper courtesy, and all those things. So here I have what's called a 3x3 guide for interacting with women in the age of social media. Three rules and three clues that I have kind of not really even done some research on. Obviously, I put together a little article that's going to be going up on the blog, and then the podcast, and obviously this video here on YouTube. If you haven't already, and I hate asking, but if you enjoy the content and this is something that you enjoy, I'm going to be doing this a lot. So hit the subscribe and like button. It helps me out a lot, and I appreciate that. And so let's go ahead and get into it, really. So the three rules. The three rules are three rules for engagement, and the three clues. The three clues, excuse me, are three clues for. They're clues to see if she may be interested, and that's all they are, is clues. Okay, because you're never really gonna know. But the three rules come first, and the three clues come after, because you shouldn't worry about the clues unless you're already living by the rules. So let's get into the rules first. And so rule number one is, and we've learned this from some of these guys, right? Never seek the approval of women. And here's the deal. We love women, right? We love women. But we never seek the approval of women, because there's a lot of consequences that are involved in this. I'm not going to, hopefully I can get through this quick. I don't even want this to be a 20-minute video. I want this to be kind of short and sweet. Here's the deal. This is why you never seek the approval of women. And believe it or not, there's 4 different types of approval, and we'll get into those real quick too. But approval often carries significant emotional weight because it validates and reinforces the choices and actions of the person seeking the approval. And as a man, if we're supposed to be doing what we're supposed to be doing, managing our responsibilities, managing our money, managing our household, making sure everybody's good, how can we do that if we're constantly seeking the approval of other people, right? We're never going to be able to handle our business properly if we're doing that. And so there are 4 different types of approval. The first one is personal approval, right? And this is the approval that we seek from women typically. This is approval that we seek from individuals close to you, such as family, friends, or mentors, and also probably romantic partners as well. The emotional weight is that personal approval often carries significant emotional weight because it comes from people whose opinions you value, trust, and care about. Receiving personal approval can boost our self-esteem and confidence, which the lack of personal approval can lead to feelings of disappointment or inadequacy. And we've talked about these before. My last video, I talked about a lot pride and admiration, and pride being one of the great pleasures that man can experience in life, because pride comes from our character development, personal character development, and our own self-esteem, which comes from our achievements. So without that, we can't have admiration for another person, because we don't even have that admiration for ourselves and the pride in what we've done and what we've achieved. There's official approval. This is the approval that comes from people at work when you're submitting for the proper channels, etc. This type of approval is granted by authorities or institutions such as government bodies, regulatory agencies, organizational leaders, and this is like the business stuff, right? So the emotional weight is that official approval can bring a sense of validation and legitimacy. It often involves meeting specific standards or criteria, which can be a source of pride. Conversely, not receiving official approval can lead to frustration or a sense of failure, especially if significant effort was invested, right? So business. Social approval, and this is big in the age of social media especially. Social approval, these acceptance and validation received from society or a broader community. So if you're like building a YouTube channel, building a TikTok channel, building an Instagram channel, building a Facebook page, something like that, Social approval tells you that you're doing the right thing, but a lot of times you're not going to get social approval unless you've already hit the jackpot or something goes viral, right? So viral is that sign of social approval. Yes, this is good. Yes, we like this. This is the content that we want to see from you, right? So that's the social approval. Emotional weight, social approval can greatly influence our sense of belonging and social identity. So if society is never telling you that you're doing a good job, how do you know that you're ever doing a good job, right? It can foster feelings of acceptance and security. However, the lack of social approval can lead to feelings of isolation, rejection, anxiety, because we are social, communal beings. So, fourth one, the most important one, fellas, and this is still in rule number 1, because this is all about approval. And this is why we never seek approval from women, because this is the most important part, is self-approval. Self-approval is the acceptance and validation we give ourselves, often linked to self-esteem and self-worth. Emotional weight is that self-approval is crucial for mental and emotional well-being. It involves recognizing and valuing our own achievements and qualities. Wow, so this is what I just said, pride in ourselves from our own character development and personal achievements. High self-approval can lead to greater resilience and independence, not needing the approval from others so much, right? While low self-approval can result in self-doubt, low self-esteem, and a reliance on external validation. Seeking approval from women. And so when we seek the approval from women, and this is still rule number 1, we're finishing this up now to the final part of this. The other rules aren't this long. This is the most important one, and this is why this is rule number 1. When we seek women's approval, several things can happen. And this is why it can be problematic for us men. We have a loss of authenticity, right? And you have to be original to succeed in the world. You have to be you. And when you lose that authenticity of yourself in seeking the approval, you're no longer yourself, right? And so now you're changing. Now you're a constantly fluctuating thing. You're not strong as a man. You're not masculine. It's not masculine to be constantly changing and to lose yourself. When men constantly seek approval from women, they may start to change their behavior, opinions, and even values to align with what they think will be accepted. This can lead to a loss of authenticity and a sense of self. Over time, this can cause internal conflict and a dissatisfaction because they're not being true to themselves. You think about all the men in marriages who have happy wife, happy life, tried to make their wife happy and sacrifice their own internal values and compromise themselves to try to get that approval and to try to make sure they're in the good graces of their wife. That's not how that works or how it's supposed to work, right? Dependency on external validation. Relying on approval from women for self-worth can create a dependency on external validation. We just talked about this. This can lead to anxiety and insecurity as he constantly seeks reassurance for his actions that his actions are good. There's a reduced confidence and assertiveness. Assertiveness is big in attracting women and even turning women on. A man who's assertive will typically get what he wants just because he's willing to be assertive about it and not, oh my God, sorry. Office stuff. And so you've got your unhealthy relationship dynamics. Constantly seeking approval can lead to unhealthy relationship dynamics where one partner is always trying to please the other. It's just impossible. It's impossible. The one thing that we're never going to be able to get from women is approval, right? And it's the one thing that we seek because it's the hardest thing to get. That's what makes it so important to us to get that approval, is because it's the hardest thing to get. Obviously, you see rule number 1 is taking a while because this one, we really need to understand this. And I just heard this kind of the other day, and it really kind of hit me, and it's been on my heart. So that's why this is rule number 1. Emotional burnout. The effort to consistently gain approval, it can be emotionally exhausting. We can find ourselves overextending, compromising our own needs and desires, and feeling drained as a result. Crazy. This can lead to emotional burnout and a decrease in overall well-being. Impact on mental health. The pressure to conform to those norms of, being a masculine man and doing all that can lead to higher levels of depression, anxiety, and stress, decrease in mental health and overall happiness. And so it is important for us to develop a strong sense of self-worth and confidence that is not dependent on external approval. Building self-approval and seeking healthy mutual relationships can lead to more fulfilling and balanced interactions. Okay. Rule number 1. Never seek approval from women, okay? It's crazy. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's just bad all over. It's just terrible. There's all kinds of reasons for it. Okay, rule number 2. And we should be moving along faster from here, from this point. Okay, rule number 2. We talked about this in the previous video as well. Never give away the currency of attention for nothing in return. Show interest in women that show interest in you. Never try to get a woman to be interested in you by giving her attention. Let me say that one more time. Never give away the currency of attention for nothing in return. In the age of social media, attention is currency, because the more attention you get, the more valuable you are. The more valuable you become to brands. You can actually make money by the attention that you have, the attention that you gain, right? So never try to get a woman to be interested in you by giving her attention. You're basically giving someone free money. So while it's okay to give attention, it's not okay to give attention to get interest. Okay? Interest has to be earned, right? And this isn't transactional. It's because, what's the last time you did when you got something for free? Did you care who it was that was giving you something for free? In fact, you probably thought that thing was of less value because they were giving it away for free. I went to a Cavs game, the Cavs opener, and they had all these t-shirts. So if you went to the game, you got a free t-shirt. And it was like, you knew that these t-shirts were cheaply made, easily printed. And that's why they could give them away for free. So the t-shirt effectively had no value because you gave it away for free, right? You enjoy the t-shirt, and I wear the t-shirt. It's a workout t-shirt for me now. I don't care about it. It's one of my favorite workout t-shirts, but it was free, okay? So if you aren't sure that she might be interested, reserve your attention for those who are. Women absolutely thrive and glow on attention. The more attention they receive, you see these women glowing up because they're getting all this attention for free. I mean, this is what it is. This is how it is. So social media platforms are designed to capture and hold our attention. This is just the reason why. And we've been programming ourselves for 20 years. This is 2004. Facebook came out, right? Attention can be monetized. So that means attention is currency. And there's limited attention because our attention can't be everywhere at once. That's why people come and people go. People fall off when they stop getting attention, right? You think of how many artists have come and gone and how many artists have kept the attention, which means that attention is very important. The more attention you earn, the more valuable you become. So the more attention that we give away, the less valuable we become as men, because we're just giving away the most important currency for free. Must be reserved. Okay? Rule number 3. And we've heard this before as well, so I'm just repeating it here. Show interest in women that show interest in you. We know this, but we've never really discussed what that may look like. And so this one is a little bit longer as well. I'll try to get through this pretty quick. Because this is also a segue into our next section, which is the clues. Ways to know if a woman likes you. Those would be in the clues. But this is a segue into that. So show interest in women that show interest in you. Rule number 3. Here's some key aspects of what showing and returning interest might look like. Because showing interest in women who show interest in you, not the other way around. Showing interest in just women who aren't showing interest in you. That's just free currency. Generally means reciprocating their attention and engagement in a respectful and genuine manner. Here's what this looks like. Active listening. Because she's shown interest, right? When a woman shows interest in you, she might engage in conversations, ask questions about your life, and show curiosity about your thoughts and feelings. Showing interest back means actively listening to her, responding thoughtfully, and showing that you value her input. It's important. It's important in genuine conversation, genuine interactions with people. 2, engagement and interaction. Reciprocate her interest by engaging in meaningful conversations, asking her about her interests, and sharing your experiences. I mean, this is just a back and forth conversation, but we don't know how to do this anymore. Body language, we talked about this. Positive body language is a strong indicator of interest. This includes making eye contact, smiling, and maintaining open posture, so she's not closed off to you. Yes. You see how this looks compared to you? Even this here is very open. To the side is pure business, right? So she may mirror your body language, or you can mirror her body language. You know how people do this, and you know the next person is doing this. That's the mirroring of the body language, right? Compliments and affirmations. This is huge. These are her showing interest, right? Giving sincere compliments and affirmations can show you that you appreciate her and notice the things that she does. Same to her back to you. Show interest in women that show interest back to you, right? We're not giving anything away for free. We're just returning it to those who give it to us. If she shows interest, it is our job as men to take initiative and suggest activities or outings. That's number 5. Number 6, always respect boundaries and ensure that your interest is not overwhelming or intrusive. This is so important because we always do this. We overdo it once we see that they might be interested. Consistency over time, that's number 7. Showing interest over time helps build trust and demonstrates that our interest is genuine and not fleeting, right? We're not there just for the short term to try to get something, right? So that's 1 through 7 of really kind of showing interest in women that show interest in us and how to kind of go about that. So the clues, what you guys are really here for. Wondering if she likes you. There's a few tells in the days of social media, and this is kind of my experience here. And these are only clues that she might be interested. But what should be obvious with what we talked about above is that nothing is ever guaranteed with them, especially approval, which is why we should be seeking our own self-approval. Just a reminder for our actions and the result of said actions. If you're following the 3 rules, you won't be worried about whether she's interested or not anyway. She will prove that to you over time, okay? So, clue number 1. And this is for these are really kind of social media stuff, okay? She will send you memes or things that she finds interesting or funny. If she's not sending you memes or that means that she's like not thinking about you, bro. Okay? So if she's sending you stuff, that means she thought about you and either she was laughing and wanted to laugh with you or thought that you might find something interesting. Okay? This is a good way to gauge who she is and what she's into. Okay? Does it align with your interests and the things that you're into? I've had girls send me stuff that they were interested in me, and I'm looking at the stuff like, and it let me know who she was. And like, while it was cool, it was like it wasn't me. Like all the cute kind of stuff that people kind of sometimes they'll send to you. It's just, but some things are funny and some things are not. So this is a good way to gauge who she is and what she's into by what she's sending you. So this is clue number 1. And my thing is, does it align with your interests and the things that you're into? Does she send you things that you might find interesting or things based on your interests? Okay, this means that she's been paying attention to you, the things you post, and the things that you might be into, which means that she's paying attention to you, which means that she's interested, okay, or even kind of interested. But this is just a clue, right? This is just a clue. Clue number 2, she comments and responds to things that you post on your story. Bro, if she's just lurking, she's not interested. If she just shows up on your story and she's just looking at your shit, but never responding, never commenting, never nothing, she's not interested. So clue number 2 that she might be interested is that she's responding and commenting on the things that you're posting on your story to let you know that she's paying attention to you. I see you. That's her way of saying I see you. Okay, and this sorry. We'll finish up so that won't happen again. Clue number 2. So again, think about the 3 rules. So if attention is a currency of social media, this means that she isn't just lurking on your story. She's paying attention, isn't interested in what you're posting, and cares enough to say something to you. This also means that she might be interested in a conversation with you and is opening up an avenue for you to talk to her by responding to your post. So this is very important. It's clue number 2 that she might be interested. Clue number 3. She's around you. In one way or another, she's around and makes her presence known. Whether it's, work events, the gym, she knows what coffee shop you go to, or you guys, you've seen her at the coffee shop, or like all of a sudden you start seeing this girl places and you guys are out at the same places, around the same kind of people doing the same types of things. In one way or another, she's around you and makes her presence known to you. The other thing is, if she's unwilling to exchange phone numbers or give you her number or take your number and then message you, she's not interested because they want to have a conversation with you. And one way to not have a conversation with somebody is to not exchange numbers. But it is possible, if she's exchanging messages with you on social media that she might be interested. But if she's not reaching out and she's not interested and she's not sending you anything, she's not commenting, big clue that she's probably not all that interested in you. Physically, you've heard the keys. She'll find ways to touch you or brush by you or, the posture thing that we just talked about. In one way or another, she makes her presence not only known to you or felt by you, right? If she's unavailable, never around, unwilling to exchange numbers, there's no way she's interested. Ignore all excuses that she might have, because they will have excuses, and follow those rules. Rule number 1, 2, and 3, right? Because believe me, if a woman wants you to have access to her, you will have access. Okay? So exercise patience, follow the rules, and mind your business as men. You have enough business to handle without worrying about seeking approval from women. Sorry this went over 20 minutes. I did not intend it to go this way, but hopefully you got the 3x3 guide for interacting with women in the age of social media. 3 rules and 3 clues. If you need them, go back again. This video is going to be here forever on YouTube and on the podcast on the Proper Gentlemen's Club on Spotify. If you're just on your way to work and want to listen, follow on Spotify. The TikTok is the same, the Proper Gentlemen's Club. And then you've got the blog, thepropergentlemensclub.com. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, leave a like, help me out. Let me know if you like the content or not, and I'll catch you guys next week. Happy Thanksgiving.